Good evening and welcome to the April 18th ARPA meeting. We do have a quorum and we are ready to begin business. So to start off with, we have a few weeks of minutes that we've passed out. I don't know if people have seen them online yet or not, that I'd like to take the vote on. So the first one is the week of February 7th. If anyone is prepared to make a motion.
Motion?
Anyone want a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion on approval of the February 7th meeting? Take a moment and think about it.
I just want to quickly run.
Glenn, can you be the minute guy for tonight? Please? Last one in the door.
Huh?
Last one in the door.
And I'll be the first one out the door.
You got a pen there.
Yeah, I'll do the minute.
Thank you.
Not happy about it.
Need paper?
Yeah, I need paper.
Yep. Just more if you need.
I have no problem with the meeting, no, with the minutes.
Yeah, I approve.
All right, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Unanimous? All right, the next one is February 22nd. Take a moment to review. And
I might get a bad rap on these. No, I speak my mind. Motion to accept?
second?
Second.
Second by Dan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, 321.
Motion to accept?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous? And 328.
I wasn't here, so I'll have to abstain from that vote.
Okay.
Me too. Do we ever get stuff from Casey's Trucking?
Went
No?
back to them, I think, this week, or they were gonna go back this week,
Okay,
get some more information, but
all right.
we've talked about them the last couple of weeks, but
Nothing still?
Motion.
motion by Dan,
Second?
second by Ken. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You abstained, Nadia.
Huh?
You abstained, you weren't here.
It says enter at 6:08, I entered at 6:08.
Oh, okay.
I was there.
Glenn was spreading rumors. All right, so, sort enough.
I wasn't at the other one, the previous one.
Okay. So that'll be a 4-0 vote also then, 321?
Yeah.
We need to revote that?
Hmm?
Do we need to revote that?
Which one?
We failed to note that Nadia was abstaining from 321.
Yeah, I wasn't here on that.
Okay.
Just take a vote on it again, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Okay, 4-0. All right, that's it for minutes, enough of that stuff. All right, last week we talked with, Officers Harvey and Officer Curtin about, the premium pay for patrol officers, BPP. So, some of the highlights of what they said, I don't believe everyone's had a chance to see it on TV. They are trained as first responders. They are first responders to every call, and they're always the first through the door. They're in hospitals all the time. There was a lot of sickness in the department. All other area towns have already received payment, Bridgewater, Whitman, Hanson. Other departments in EB went to other options. School department used EG, for example. School department used e-learning. DPW went to a 2-day work week. So that was the input. We took their input and had a little back and forth, and that was it. But as I thought about it, my sense was that most of the other departments didn't approve it. Charlie, do you have any input on that?
As far as I know, so, right, the sergeants, being the superior officers, didn't get any, stipend, no one got a stipend, let's put it right. I mean, I don't know about the school, I'd have to check with Liz, but, nobody on the non-school side has received a stipend.
In East Bridgewater?
Yeah,
Right. They had said, and I don't disbelieve them, it's just that I hadn't heard it before, that Bridgewater, Whitman, and Hanson.
it wouldn't surprise me one way or the other, but I don't know if every single town, for instance, in the South Shore did.
Okay.
I mean, I know Halifax gave it out, but it gave it out to everybody. It wasn't just limited to the police officers.
Right.
That was, I think, $1,500 twice. I mean, so once back, I don't know what it would have been, 2 summers ago and one last summer. Yeah. So 1,500 the summer 21, 1,500 the summer 22. Okay.
So that was to all town employees, 1,500 per year, 20 and 21.
In 2022. Right?
Pardon?
2021 and 2022? Or 2020 and
For
2021?
Halifax, all town employees received it the summer of 21 and then the summer of 22.
So that's the information we have from that to date. I'm sure they'd be glad to come back and give us more if we need it. Anyone wanna make any comments or action on that one yet?
Not having been here last week or the week before, with this, is it not a concern that if we were to give this, we would open ourselves up to giving premium pay to many, many more employees in the town? Or, I guess I'm just questioning it because I'm not really clear on it.
I think it is a concern, because we don't know where that's gonna go, and, we've had this discussion before, and it's complicated. The money is not gonna come out of the SPH or whatever it is, the Plymouth County money.
Mm-hmm.
It would definitely come out of the town's ready-to-use money.
Yep.
Which might impact some other projects. So, at this point, I think where we are as a group, we have a lot of things that are very close, and we can probably make recommendations on, just make decisions to recommend or not recommend a number of items, which will be in the next bullet area. I think maybe we should come back to this where we're just getting started on this particular one.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah,
I think
that's
they
good.
said that they were gonna come back with some more information too,
Right.
so, yeah, I think we can hold off on voting on it.
Yep.
And just, talking about how we try to get an idea what we'd be spending on all these other projects, this appears to me like we don't know what we'll be spending on this if we agree to this, and it mushrooms from here, so we don't know how much money will be spent. Am I correct in that?
Right. I mean, their request is 47 something
Their
thousand.
request.
Right, but if it gets to, has to go to everybody, for
Right.
whatever reason, we don't know that would be a limit.
Yeah,
Now, would it be possible, Charlie, I don't wanna go down the long road
Yeah.
again with you, but just a quick question, I don't know if we've covered this or not. if it did spread out to everybody, could you still limit the grant to 47,000 and split it up
Well,
between
this is the
everybody?
thing is, no one else applied.
Yeah.
So unless the board sort of reopens the process in some fashion and says, we'll accept new applications from the firefighters, from DPW, from the clerical union, from the dispatchers, the non-union people, then there's no place for them to go looking for the money, these other bargaining units, these other unions. Doesn't mean that they won't then come back to the table at some point and say, well, wait a minute, you gave X amount to the patrol officers. So, the sergeants come back and say, well, we wanna see it, we wanna reopen the contract. Or we'll see you in a couple of years and say, you gave them that, we want a one-time payment of whatever it is,
Right.
Nothing prevents them from asking for the money, it's simply a matter of, it won't be ARPA money. Because you've got more applications than you've got money available. So, unless the board reopens the process and then says, we're moving these other applications up to the top in terms of our priority, then I don't see ARPA paying for stipends for anybody else.
So I think I may be misunderstanding the thing, but my take was, they're looking for $47,000, right? And if they get it, it's not gonna come from Plymouth County,
Correct.
but if they get it, then any other employee in the town that's below whatever level is gonna get that below their level, the 150% or
Well,
whatever.
this is where it gets weird.
That's the problem.
That's how Congress set up, or Congress or the Treasury set up a loophole big enough to drive the truck through.
Right.
Which basically said, here's our idea of, the stipends, which is it really should go to people who are at 150% or below the median income of the region. Having said that, they then said basically it's still up to you, the individual governmental units, to decide whether or not to just skip that stipulation. It's not a mandatory rule that has to be met.
Got it.
Because it falls under, it's one of those, so it was, there were 5 broad categories. One of it was the infrastructure, so water, sewer, broadband. Another was, basically health. So either dealing with COVID directly or preventing COVID or dealing with the consequences of COVID. Another one was the economic effects, whether it's on a person-by-person basis or a business or a group of people, whatever, to, if those individuals, those groups of people, those businesses were hurt more by the pandemic, you get them back up on their feet. Another one was the stipend pay. But then, the other category is that revenue reduction. And we talked about this before, in that what the Fed said was, if you are getting less than $10 million, all of it can be revenue reduction. It does not have to go into one of those categories, which means you wanna buy a pencil, you can buy a pencil. Has nothing to do with COVID, but you can buy a pencil. You wanna buy a police car, you can buy a police car. Again, nothing to do with COVID. Wanna buy a backhoe, you can buy a backhoe. Anything you want, you can buy, or you can pay for.
Right, right.
So, because of that stipulation, that under revenue reduction, and we're getting obviously far less than $10 million, even with Plymouth County, it would be less than, but Plymouth County doesn't count in this point for that. We can use it for anything we want. So if ultimately the Board of Selectmen wants to hand a check to certain individuals in a certain department, it doesn't have to worry about the income
50.
rule.
Okay. Well, after all these months, I think it's getting fairly straight in my mind. 'Cause I missed that. I know you've gone,
No, I know.
hammered this into me a couple of times, but I apologize.
No, but I have to think about this all the time, so.
Yeah, it's, so I guess the question is that 47.5 is not set in stone.
Well, it's set in stone in the sense of, okay, so, again, nobody else asked for the money. So unless the board of selectmen reopens the application process, they would probably do it more generally, they wouldn't just say to the superior officers of the firefighters, you to send in an application. They would open it up again to the general public and everything. And then I would expect, very possibly, that the other unions would submit applications. Now, the board hasn't done that. Like I said, you all have more applications asking for more money than you have available to you under any circumstances.
So that 47.5 is, I won't say set in stone, but it's fairly hard and fast for this department. And if other departments ask, it's gonna be another process down the line.
Yes.
Okay.
So
But it's
either
not-
one of two.
But they all had the same opportunity, didn't they?
It's not the department, in this case.
Right,
It's
it's the
it's the one of what, 3 unions
Yeah,
in that department?
yeah, the superior officers.
So that union is
Yeah,
asking.
not unions,
Right.
As
those
opposed,
individuals. So I think, what is it, 10, they said
10.
10, yeah, okay.
it's just, you know, sometimes,
But all the other unions had an opportunity to do that, right? What-
They all had the
So
opportunity.
only that one chose to apply, right? So it's
Right.
pretty straightforward then, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got the same thing with the businesses. You only have one
I mean-
business that applied for
I know, but
assistance.
Right,
And
right.
you've got a couple hundred in East Bridgewater.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't think that we should, I mean, I personally think it's a dicey situation, this proposal. It's very dicey for me, and I don't think it fits the criteria, what we're trying to do. Sorry.
No,
Freaking direct.
I,
That's okay, yeah.
That's,
I'm leaning towards agreeing with you because, as Charlie was saying, you know, when contracts come up and the union has to sign, and they're like, well, the patrol officers union just got 47,000. We want a little bump too. So,
This creates
yeah,
the
it can be some tension.
tension and
In-house
animosity
tension.
towards, then we should be collectively uniting and
Right.
doing the common good for the community, so.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards agreeing with you.
All right, anyone else, any other comments, Glenn or Ken?
no, I think I've said everything I can.
So let's cogitate on this for till another meeting and come back and see if we're all still in agreement or disagreement.
Right,
I just-
yeah.
You know, it's only been a few days and some of these have taken months to get through.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be fair to not just think about it.
No, I'm not saying, I'm just letting you know, like,
Right.
if we're come to a vote, I'm just, would not continue
Now, if
supporting.
we were gonna vote
I would love
tonight,
to give everybody, like, my thing, I would like to give every department their fair share, but that's not the case.
Right.
Yeah.
And with the amount of money that's being allocated, we're going through this for a reason. Just don't see it how it's the priority in regards to what we're trying to gain.
Mhm.
So,
right,
but I would love, like I said, if we could get to everybody, but
right.
it's not what's presented, only one department, one businesses, so. Which I think for us, it becomes like hard to, you know, look at, if we had a couple, we can kind of like, you know, get an idea, but we only have one of each, which makes it even harder. KC Trucking, I mean, how long it's been, the process been opened, and we still can get records.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, my closing thoughts on it are just this, it's like Casey Trucking's an example.
Yes.
I mean, that's benefiting only a few people, right? And there are a lot of, you gotta do these and you gotta do that to come with that one, just because it's that one
Right.
outside the, normal window. This one is it's like, we have 13,000 people in the town, and this is for 9 or 10 people, right, out of the whole town, and like you say, what's the example it's setting for down the road? On the other hand, these guys, and I can't say why the other other union groups in there didn't make the application, but these guys were out there and they were you
Yeah.
know, in the hospitals, going into people's houses, they were getting sick and things like that. So it's probably one of the things that we're looking at to do for the people that were impacted by it,
Right.
right? But again, I think we don't wanna jump to anything here yet,
No.
right? Because even just in the last week, which is all we've really had it for, you know, I've gone back and forth on different things myself.
Okay.
All right, so we'll bring this up again at the next meeting.
Okay.
All right. All right, the next bullet item I had was to actually vote on 6 or 7 requests here. 1, 2, 3, 7 requests, beginning with the COA Pavilion. All right, so we've been going back and forth on this. Again, there's no firm, hard quote out there. I think what we've learned in the past few weeks is there really, or 2 weeks ago, there really is nowhere to get a firm, hard quote for a reasonable amount of money at this point in time. So you go through it. We have a municipal process for bidding and paying for things that kind of has a lot of checks and balances and governance in it. I think we can rely on. I think my opinion, you all don't have to agree with me, my opinion is where we are is this a benefit to the community or not? And is it worth, you know, recommending it to the Board of Selectmen, let them make the final decision and moving forward on it? Or is it something where we say, okay, well, community-wide, do we really need this, or we have other priorities or things like that? So, open for discussion, or if somebody wants to make a motion.
Well, I've been vocal about the cost and the lack of a clear cost, but I also have to say that I have quite a bit of faith that Nancy is going to look into this and do what's right, as opposed to spending money just because it's there. So I think that the project itself will be a benefit for a large number of people in the town. And I think it's a great idea, and if you look back, I think we probably talked about this before, at the purchase of the property itself, you know, that was quite expensive 30 years ago, and looking back at it now, it's well worth what we spent.
Right.
You know, so I'd have to say that, you know, even without that well-defined cost, I have faith that it would be done right and not extravagantly.
Was there a discussion about a bathroom in there? Like she was saying that the comparison of the two, they didn't have a bathroom, or they did have a bathroom?
I didn't get a chance to read that, but I didn't think they had proposed that, because
Okay.
they didn't talk about plumbing.
Right.
Yeah.
No, there was no plumbing, it was just gonna be a storage area.
Yeah, storage shed
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
for chairs and tables and stuff.
okay.
There's gonna be electric, but no plumbing.
No plumbing, okay. Alright.
Glenn, any thoughts?
No, I've heard a lot about this. I agree with Ken, you know. I think it's a good community benefit. The price is steep, in my opinion, but I understand municipal construction, and, you know, it is what it is on that. There's nothing you can do. You know, again, when you talk about extravagant, you know, are they gonna hire a top-end architect to build, you know, come up with a design for a pavilion, which is a roof and a couple poles, you know, for $50,000 or $80,000? I mean, I don't know. Those things I worry about, which I think they can be more, to your point, can be more judicious on what they spend, you know? They don't have to spend every nickel of that allocation. You know, can they be smart about it? Because, you know, and I expect Nancy would hopefully do that, you know? So I, you know, have to put our faith in them that, you know, they still have to kind of manage it as prudently as they can, the budget, I would think, so. But I know it's expensive. I know, you know, materials are extremely expensive, and the labor's crazy right now, and it's all, you know, pretty union for municipal projects, so. Yeah, no,
Right.
I'll support it.
Jan?
No, I think it's a great project.
Anyone want to make a motion?
So much so that I'd
How do
like
you
to make
feel
a
now,
motion
yeah?
to vote.
I'd make a motion. Go ahead with it.
So Danny made and you seconded.
Yes.
Motion to recommend.
I think if it's if there's priorities put in, this would be a higher priority. We talked about at some point in time, maybe going through all of these and prioritizing once we've approved them, maybe. You know, that's my feeling. Anybody agree or disagree with that?
Did you ever get, like, the timeline to completion, how long it would take to do the project? Did she ever provide that or no?
It's hard to say without having a bid.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's really hard to estimate that.
Okay.
And when they're gonna get to actually get the
The
funds.
weather and all that?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, are they gonna get it in the wintertime? It might not be ideal, and then getting bids and
So what-
contractors.
Just think about, like, the time frame we have, like, it's 2 years, so I'm just trying to figure out, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when are these
Probably-
projects gonna, from the start till,
Yeah,
are
yeah.
are we still gonna be able to see it to fruition?
2025,
2026, what?
I would
So-
say around that, I would.
Good
Yeah.
point.
After 2026.
I think we have till 2028.
We do?
Build up, or to
No,
spend it.
no. I think it's 26, I
Six,
think
yeah.
December 26.
December, right?
Yeah.
December,
To what, to spend it all, or?
yeah,
To
it's
complete.
all done.
Yeah.
All right, so do we want to move the question and take a
Yeah.
vote?
Any more
All in
discussion?
favor?
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
All right, so unanimous. Recommend. 5-0. All right, the next one, Mitchell Central Entrances Upgrade, Mitchell School and the Central School. All right, this is where they're gonna upgrade them to make them safer, more, less intrusion available, make them more intrusion proof. So, the upgrade, $237,000, external cameras for the Mitchell, $47,992, total of $285. That's for both of them, Mitchell and Central. They did file a grant for the fobs.
Never heard back on the grant.
No.
Right, right. And that was, 40. It was 45,000, I think, was the grant.
I think so. I don't. That's somewhere.
So it's 285, John, 'cause I had this 300 here on this one. 285?
285, 921. Upgrade to 37,929. Mitchell external camera, 47,992. Total 285, 921.
Oh, that's the recreation commission. Go deep into the file. Nothing really in their application.
Yeah, I just having, notes from.
Were there two separate requests, you said? One for cameras and,
Mitchell Central entrance upgrade,
Yeah.
how much
Was
was
it
that?
ma-
237?
237,929 for the upgrade.
Okay.
Mitchell external cameras were 47,992. Total cost is 285,921.
Thank you.
That's a lot, but disapproving and let it, the board
Yeah.
decides.
We're only recommending the board has to make
Right.
the final call.
Yeah, it came, I think the original they asked for was 300,000.
Yeah, that's what I had, the original.
Yeah.
So I have undated, something from John Shea.
You wanna vote these together as one, or we're gonna vote them separate?
I think we wanna do them as one.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
that's the way it
For
was
both
put in.
schools, talking about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, the application was for both.
Okay.
yeah.
So what's been done, Mitchell installed fob access to the main entrance, cafeteria entrance, employee entrance, access camera and doorbell at the main entrance and cafeteria entrance. Main office has the ability to open I'm not sure if that's in there, it's a question mark whether they have the ability to open an exterior door from the office. Install new security cameras at the main entrance and a new lobby guard. Still to do at that point in time, move the lobby guard to man trap. Install a button in the main office for that secondary door open. Create, implement a security solution to secure glass areas at the entrances because of all the glass. Fob access control at the loading dock, external perimeter cameras that are there but they're not working. The central school, new security cameras, building and exterior, new lobby guard, man trap, install window to main office and man trap, and improved outdoor lighting. And they were working on creating and implementing a security solution to secure the glass areas at the entrances. So the assumption would probably be that that was included in the 285.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're getting for your money,
Mm-hmm.
or we're getting for our money. Do we have enough to make a recommendation?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I think so.
My feeling at the bottom line is you don't wanna be Uvalde, you don't wanna be one of these other places.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see the video on Nashville,
Ugh.
you see what a glass door does.
Nothing.
Seconds.
Yep.
And I think that, we talk about priorities, this would be an extremely high priority.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
Make a motion to
Motion from Ken.
approve that.
Yeah.
Second.
All right, motion Ken. One second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Aye. 5-0. Renovate 2 courts. Any thoughts on this? Well, looking for it.
That's the one by the Church Street.
Church
back
Street, right?
soccer
Yep,
fields.
it's the the baseball, softball fields,
Yes, okay.
and the basketball and pickleball courts. So on the email I sent out, the second page, it was updated 4/11/23, last week. So essentially, the update is, they've, based on our advice, they reached out, got to a contractor and got a consultant from Northeast Electrical, who's been very helpful.
Good.
The new quotes on materials and equipment came down by $18,674 for the baseball and softball fields. Then the basketball and pickleball courts, materials and equipment quote was down $29.40 to $10,890, and I think they're waiting on a grant for that too also. Labor quote should be received by 13th, which I haven't seen yet, and, Craig was out to John Shea and his family, they had a fire in their house, and
Oh, no.
his wife was a little bit injured, and
Really?
so,
Wow.
that's why we don't have that update on the quote, but I told him, he needs something.
Yeah.
We let him know or whatever, but
John,
just do what he's gotta do.
on that, John, is, we talking about the lighting or renovating the courts?
This is the 2 courts, the lighting's another one. the LED
Okay, yeah,
lighting.
so this is just renovating the courts, has nothing to do with, the electric or anything like that,
Right.
okay.
I take that back. So
Oh, this is-
part of the,
LED lighting.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, right, yeah, that's right, I'm sorry.
Yep.
So it was LED lighting, that's LED lighting updated.
So
Right,
Church Street
the other
LED.
thing that I didn't mention, the current cost of lights at $900 per month is gonna go down with the LED lighting
Okay.
also, so that's a recurring fee that'll be done.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, you know, he's done a good job in kinda getting his arms around it and getting help from outside, and, you know, the rebates and stuff are what kinda brought the cost down. And I don't know what the difference is from the original cost, but I think we're a lot better off. Anyone wants to make a motion?
Make a motion.
And this is just on the lighting.
Lighting and renovate the
And the
courts.
courts themselves,
Mhm.
No,
that's
the-
where I'm
No,
confused.
the renovate, that was me. I had that confused. Renovate
Just-
courts is different.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
the
what I
lighting.
thought, yeah.
This is lighting.
So we're talking about just the lighting
Lighting.
now for Church Street,
Right.
okay. And that, can I ask you a question on that, John? On that
Yep.
$900, that's per month going forward every year? Is that?
That's what it's been for, I don't know how long it's been that. It was 400, I remember the number $400 when it was the 90s, 80s, whenever I was coaching there,
Yeah,
when they first put them up.
that was when we had to use water power, right?
No, but, so it's gone from but, I mean, it's been 20-something years, 25 years anyway, since then.
So in
But-
light of that, though, I mean, one of the things that I thought we were charged with was looking for something that didn't require an ongoing cost. How does that?
No, this
It's
is,
gonna reduce.
This is gonna
that's an
reduce the
already
ongoing
ongoing
cost.
cost.
It is.
It's not additional.
Right,
This
this
is
this
gonna
is-
reduce what
By
it's at.
going to LEDs, you're going from.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's not an additional cost. It's,
Okay.
it's an existing cost that we're gonna make cheaper.
Yep.
Right.
All right.
Right,
It
so-
says current cost of lights is $900 per month. This will go down by how?
I'm not sure how much, I didn't get that number out of him.
Any possibility we can look to solar? No?
My opinion?
Should we not go there?
It'll cost you more for the panels
Okay,
That's
at
true,
first.
yeah.
You know, there's a lot of upfront cost, I think, to that, but
just to look into it, and then if we're gonna go, I mean, like, it doesn't hurt, we've got
Right to
time.
ask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we should find out, and also, I mean, as an opinion, lighting up all of these fields, is that necessary? I mean, I know it's nice playing under the lights and everything else, but it seems a little like a luxury, you know, to me.
I'll tell you, 25 years ago, that was my position, is this, do we really need this?
Yeah.
But they went in, you know, they went to Eastern Edison at the time, and they got a lot of help from Eastern Edison to put it up, but it's still gonna be $400 a month, which is why it stuck in my mind, because at the
Like,
time,
that, yeah.
I was concerned about it. But to me, today, it's kind of accepted that kids are gonna have this. I mean, if we didn't have lights on our field, we'd probably be the only town in the county.
But, are the lights on, John, like, all the time, or only when it's
During the
like,
baseball season, right?
only baseball season?
During
for-
the
Which one is it?
season,
This is
Which is
summertime.
like 3 months,
Yeah, a few months.
the most, if that? Because I know we playing right now from, started like
Spring and fall ball.
April, yeah, so 6 months
Probably
probably?
no more than 6.
No more than 6 months.
So, you know, what I would like to know is,
Okay.
how many games, I guess, you know, how many more games will they play under the lights?
Mhm.
You know, versus what they're playing in daylight?
I don't think this is anything new. I don't think they're bringing in new fields that are gonna be lit up. I think this is replacing
Placing,
The
These
lights,
aren't that great.
the old-fashioned
Okay.
lights
Yeah,
with
yeah.
LED lighting. I think it's gonna be the same number of fields and games and
Mhm.
everything else.
And they also, like I said, they have like, you know, energy efficient bulbs and all that
Well,
stuff
that's
too.
what this is all about, is
Yeah.
going to,
Yeah.
that's where the 900 is dropping down.
Yeah, just look, I think we should look into solars and see what it is. Maybe it's upfront, pay it for itself, and then we don't have to worry about any maintenance moving forward. And I think this town, like, you know, while doing this, had time to think, like, our kids don't have much to do, you know what I mean? There's not much to do in this town and recreationally, there needs to be stuff for them to keep these kids busy.
Right.
So, whatever to improve the quality of life of the community, I think we should kind of support that. I know your kids are probably all grown, I'm in it for another 10 more years, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but, just observation-wise, just looking around, just not much for
Mm.
them to do.
Mhm.
It's been something I'm hearing a lot from parents, it's just the kids don't have nothing to do. So if we can make it some type of a way that they can go someplace, you know, the senior center or somewhere where they could, you know,
Right.
I think it would be great.
Well, you know, your point about the solar too, I mean, it's a good point, but I think that regardless of whether you have solar or not, you still need to go to the LEDs, which is something that, you know, that's the way
Mhm.
everybody's going,
Mhm.
you know, personal
Right.
residences, yeah.
All right, so, I'm assuming we're not gonna have a motion on this one then.
No,
Slow
let's look
mo-
into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right, next,
Fields, right?
go back to renovate 2 courts where I thought we were going. So that hasn't changed, nothing's changed, it's
No,
a $145,000 request,
Is this,
and they're still getting money from the state and from another grant.
is it 2 courts or is it baseball fields and,
The renovate
yeah?
is,
It says renovate and, renovate 2 courts,
Courts.
Church
I
Street.
thought there were 2 courts, I thought there was basketball and there was like an outdoor hockey type.
Basketball,
Street
pickleball.
Basketball, pickleball.
Yeah.
so
I could be
the
wrong.
basketball pickleball courts then are both in the LED lighting and the renovate 2 courts.
Mhm.
Here.
So not only are they getting renovated, they're getting the lighting
They're getting the
upgraded.
Where'd you get the baseball, softball fields? Is that a separate request?
That one, the softball field is over there, right on the 18, the girls one.
No, I know, but on the request, I don't see that mentioned anywhere. Is that,
I think that's enough.
am I missing something
Drainage
on that
one.
one? I took notes, renovate baseball, softball fields, and pickleball, basketball courts, but
Not this one.
I'm not sure, I don't know where that's coming from, so I'm gonna make sure.
Oh, the
that-
softball one?
Uh,
That's probably from the one that was, that had the drainage problem.
Yeah,
right? We
that's a
found out this
different-
number,
yeah,
it's a
That's
different
a
one.
different one,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
Isn't it, so there must be
We lumping all the,
baseball, softball, and
That's
Church
field
Street?
drainage. on
it's
the
field
street.
drainage, right? So what are we doing, John? What are we
So-
voting on?
the one,
Renovate 2 courts?
Renovate
there's
2 courts.
Brewster's.
No baseball, softball right now.
Right.
No,
Okay,
Okay, yeah,
excellent.
this is basketball and
Basketball and pickle courts,
basketball,
right?
Yeah.
pickleball, yeah.
For 146, whatever it
okay,
is?
yeah.
Okay, all right. I think we're on
Get
track.
your request, if I can find it here, Sachem Rock, Metro, Central. Renovate 2 courts. Right.
See, my old-fashioned filing system with little stickers works, if you want it. Right, that's what you're
Yep.
talking about, right?
Yep.
This second one attached to it.
So. See attached,
Might
see
need a
attached.
picture with one of those.
Current basketball court and floor hockey rink are in major disrepair and unable to be used. Significant liability to the town due to the condition. In order to revitalize the area, provide safe recreational space for the community to enjoy, request funding to create 2 basketball courts and 2 pickleball courts on the existing property. Currently, we have $55,000 in funding from the state, 40 in funding from the town's 23 capital budget. This $95,000 fund is enough to furnish 2 new basketball courts, the installation of 4 new basketball hoops and a new basketball surface. We are requesting additional funding for site preparation, security camera system, lighting. I might as well give you the numbers. So site prep is 58 grand, security cameras 15, lighting 16.5. So that's confusing whether that 16.5 is including the LED or not. Fencing 24,000, pickleball miscellaneous 3,500, totals 117,355. Contingency due to timing inflation 29,339. Total request is 146,694. Anyone follow that?
Yes.
Yep.
I've been reading.
So, putting it together, the lighting that they're talking about is covered in the LED lighting one. So I'm not sure that they would need that, or if that's to put up separate posts.
I would think that would be for the pickleball, because it's not
Yeah.
existing right now.
Right.
Yeah.
That might be additional lighting, John.
Yeah,
I bet that's additional, you
yeah.
know.
Because the other one said use existing posts.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And this one. So they may have, they may, I'm not familiar with the area, so I don't know if there are posts around there or not.
There's not much posting there.
No.
Some, but there's not enough to do this, what they're trying to do right
Right.
now.
We have to expand a few,
Yeah. There's a few,
Yeah.
but not enough for that project.
All right, so. This other quote is just about the lighting itself, not the renovation of the courts.
That's a separate quote altogether. They're two separate issues, right?
Yep.
Did they both come from John Shea?
Yep. Well, this is now, he's got a quote here from Northeast Electrical,
Mm-hmm.
he submitted the last time. I really can't read it to, figure out. I think we should probably get more information.
Revised. I revise it, just to be clear.
It's just, maybe it's just me, but I find it hard to say what he's talking about, renovating the court, whether, you know,
Mhm.
putting down new asphalt or whatever the floor's gonna be, or walls or whatever, versus the lights on those courts. As a separate request.
Okay.
Anybody else have any other?
I think that it would be a lower priority, and if we had the money there after we're done with all of this, take it into consideration again. That's just my opinion.
We'll see here, it does say on the Church Street LED lighting with the basketball and pickleball court, it says lighting costs included in the total project for, so I'm assuming that means for LED lighting.
Okay.
Lighting costs included in total project request. I don't know if that means including in that
The money's up
LED,
there.
if it's up here, or, yeah.
We need to talk to him a little more.
So no vote? Need more info?
No vote.
Yeah, I'd say so.
No one's made a motion yet, so, see?
All right.
Put along.
This is,
Next.
my note here is that lighting versus renovate two courts projects, clarify which parts, prices are applicable to each application.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on-
Dee Dee, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Different meeting.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
on the we're talking about pickleball and, with renovating the 2 courts. I mean, there's still an ongoing cost of $1,200. Where did I see that? For the Wi-Fi. $1,200 a year, I think they said.
For Wi-Fi?
What did I say? Okay, yeah, monthly charge for Wi-Fi for security cameras, approximately $1,200 per year. I mean, again, approximately doesn't really tell us what it is, you know, there's a lot of, you know, numbers that are kind of gray areas here. I know. Seems like a lot, $147,000. But then again, what do I know? I just keep looking at the dollars and I
Well, doesn't
think,
everything seem,
I'm living in the
expensive?
past, I guess, is what it is.
what project looks cheap to you on these?
Right.
I mean, it's just a
What
cost
you
of,
got the grants for, the 96,000 and
yeah, I mean, it's expensive, all this stuff, but yeah. I mean, I agree, Ken, when you look at it, I'm like, wow, but, you know, when you think about what they're doing, I mean, it's just, it is what it is, man.
It's not, yeah, they're not small projects.
No, no, they're not. You gotta do them right, you know?
Site work costs.
Yeah, yeah,
Site work costs a lot.
it does.
Yeah.
If you just cheap out on it, it'll just be ruined in a few years, you know? If they do it right, it should last hopefully, 20 years, you know?
And again, I mean, I keep coming back, this isn't coming out of our pockets, this
Right.
is
Yeah.
free money that someone's given to us, and it's like, someone gives you $500,000, says, fix your house up a little bit.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you're not gonna get the low budget stuff, you're gonna get good stuff.
Right.
See, that's
Yeah,
where I
but-
think the priorities come in, you know, because we'll eat up our money fast, very quickly, if we use the ones that are lower priority. Because that's what I'm thinking, it's,
Yeah.
you know, let's focus, let's spend our money, let's spend that money, you're talking about just found money on things that are absolutely necessary, that will create better safety, you know, the whole thing that they went through, outdoor access for large numbers of the population, et cetera, you know, so.
Well, you gotta have someplace for the youth, for recreation. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's a top priority. Like, to Nadia's point, I mean, what do you think kids are gonna do if there's nowhere to go? What are they gonna do?
They're gonna go out in the woods.
What did we all do when we were young kids?
Hang
It
out
Yeah.
It's worse now, though.
is worse now. I agree with you.
I mean,
You
and
know?
I,
I don't disagree.
I'm not saying anything, all I want is like, we have to also be mindful that projects that doesn't have recurring
costs.
yearly costs
right.
too, right?
Yep.
So that's another thing that comes into play when I do, like, when we prioritize our list, is making sure at the back of my head that there's not gonna be, we're in a crisis where, oh my gosh, you know, we got this beautiful
Yeah.
pavilion, but yeah, we have to tear it down because we can't maintain the cost that to have it. So we gotta make sure when we, you know, submitting these to the board that, you know, back of our mind that there's gonna be minimal to not any more, yearly costs associated with it.
Mhm.
And the
There's gotta be-
basketball courts,
There's
I
gotta
mean,
be
like I said,
ongoing costs with anything.
Where
If
is
you
it?
go put a statue up, there are ongoing costs.
Yeah, you gotta
Right?
maintain it,
There's
right?
nothing to it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, but not like to an extreme where
Right,
it
right.
requires
Mhm.
a special town meeting where we have to, like, you know, make special assessment or something like that, you know what I mean?
But the other thing too, and your point about, you know, no place for the kids to go, we don't know how much these things are gonna be used, any of them. I mean, I know the bocce court, for the first 6 months, it was used constantly. Now there's never anybody there.
What,
That I
what
can-
is this?
There's a bocce court next to the
I see.
Council on Aging, the center,
Oh.
in the back there. I mean, so, you know, are these things gonna be used by the youth? You know, will they be using pickleball, basketball courts? I know,
Pickleball's a big craze right now, so I think it'll definitely
you know, up and down, you know, so.
Yeah.
Pickleball is more the old. people.
baseball
Yeah.
courts, basketball
Yeah.
courts, it's always people,
So,
the kids out,
and you can't predict,
no.
really, how much use you're gonna get.
I
But
mean,
anything
like
outdoor.
The baseball fields and the basketball fields and the
Yes.
courts and the softball fields, I mean, we know what use,
Yeah.
they're heavily used
They are
Right.
heavily used
throughout the
Absolutely,
year,
yeah.
and they always
Yeah.
have been and probably will be for a long
for a
time.
very long time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, that's,
And if we can upkeep those
Yes.
and keep them in the best condition that we can,
Right.
you know, and you know, if we have to pay, you know, more money to do so, to get more, better quality, like you said.
Yeah.
want it
Right.
to last for 20 years,
Right.
then absolutely.
Right.
I think another part too is, we really aren't seeing like the ongoing costs, like, you have athletic fields out there, they need to be fertilized, they need to be watered, they need to be mowed,
Yeah.
they need to be lined, things like
DPW.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We got a job already for somebody to do that.
This is
It's
stuff
not
that
free
they're-
either.
this is stuff that they're
It's part of
already
the budget
doing.
already. It's not,
You know, this is stuff that they're already doing.
yeah, they're already doing
Yeah.
it, so it's not something that we,
Yeah.
increasing or
So-
costing us more money. Maybe their pay might be increasing, but it's part of the budget anyways.
Mhm.
So, just as long as we just not, like, focus on just making sure that we provide a better quality of life for everyone in this town, young, old,
All right,
whatever, but. just
all
think-
said.
I think it's important.
All right.
And we're growing, our population grew a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
did it?
When I moved into
EB.
town, it was
Really?
like
How much?
5,000.
Yeah,
You know,
Wow.
when you move in, that's
Yeah.
77 for me.
Crazy.
Yeah, 'cause for a long time, it was
Yeah.
flat for
Flat.
years and years, and
Yeah.
when we did the
Not much
school,
more.
we did a big study on that, it was flat for like 25 years, it didn't really fluctuate.
6,000 people.
Wow, that's amazing.
And
Few years
what,
ago.
what
The
amount
new
of time?
census, the new census?
Oh, so what is census, every 4 years, 6 years? What do they do?
No, it's every 10 years for the
10 years.
census.
10 years.
Census, yeah, the
Six,
national census,
so-
10.
6,000.
We doubled,
10
like,
years?
we literally increasing
Wow,
people in this town.
That's
a lot.
crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I moved here in the last 10 years,
Mm.
Right,
yeah.
yeah, so you're one of them.
Yep, yeah. Yeah, and now my 3 kids,
Wow.
well, I just had twins like a month ago.
Oh, no, that's, congrats.
All right, so, passed on LED lighting, Church Street, renovate 2 courts. Leave that open. Church Street concession stand, the roofs. Oh, what's that one? Request is now down to 41,649 from 61,419. Geez, imagine they used all the same numbers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, there were 2 ones in the second one, a little bit different.
So 41,649?
So
They went from
41,640.
61 to 149 to 41.
Did they explain how they got it down?
Just updated quotes and
Oh.
stuff. track
Just
out.
maybe competitive quotes, maybe.
So,
That's good.
Really good.
Someone's doing their work,
Somebody's doing their
doing their
job.
homework, you know, that's what we're looking for.
So we need electrical upgrades, external building repairs for the snack shack.
That's the Church Street concession?
Yep.
Yeah. What's the total on that, John?
So I think what they did, based on what I'm seeing here, is the 61,419
Okay, yeah.
included an electrical upgrade of 19,770. The building repair was 41,649, so they must have eliminated the electric.
Yep.
Probably got an electrician on the table. to do the work, I guess. Somebody to do it. Any discussion on that? Questions, comments? Motions?
I'll make a motion to vote.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. School pickup truck. DPW does not do electric vehicle maintenance, and POV reimbursement to show usage is not available.
How much is that for, John?
55,000, is that what it was?
I thought it was 30 to
It was
40, wasn't it?
35.
30 to 35, I thought, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, 35,000 is cheap for a truck these days, so
Yeah,
we could get one for that.
that's one way of looking at it.
At one point, was there not a comment or a suggestion made that there were other vehicles available in town? That they'd either be turning in, trading in, or whatever, that could be used for this purpose? And I'm just, yeah, I vaguely remember that when we first started on this.
Right. I think that did not
Yeah, I think,
line up with anything.
no,
It was a dead end.
yeah, I believe so.
I think, we know that there are other vehicles that they use, or whatever, that they've been going along with, they have a big van truck or whatever. And I mean, just the purchase and then maintenance of the truck for what appears to be very small amount of usage, I think is kinda high.
I agree. Unless I'm told that they have a lot of miles or quantify how many miles they need it for. I don't know if it's worth the investment.
I asked, and they said that's not available.
Okay. Well, that gives me all the information I need.
What was
Are
that?
you gonna make a motion of any kind?
Make a motion that we
I'll make a motion that we...
reject it?
Well,
You reject?
huh?
Who's making the motion?
I'll motion to vote on it, and we can vote how we feel, but I don't feel good about it.
Well, you gotta make a motion to
Okay, I make a motion to vote
not
against it.
recommend or
Not
recommend.
recommend.
Not recommend?
Yeah.
A second. I think I would preface that, we'd need more definite information about how much it would be used.
If it's not available, then, if they don't know how much they need it, how can we approve it?
How do you need it?
I need to buy this truck, why?
Yeah.
I need it for
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
I
I just need it. Like, well,
I think he mentioned that the fields.
They were, the maintenance guys were using their own cars
Their
to
own
bring
cars, right.
materials from the school to the
then
field.
they could have asked them, how often do you use your car?
Mhm.
I use it about 5 hours a week. Okay, how about you? 5 hours a week. Okay, 10 hours a week, we need it.
Well, the thing
Why is it a mystery?
we asked too is if they're using personal vehicles, are they putting in for
Mileage.
mileage?
Right, you can track that.
And
They
they
don't-
didn't know,
they don't have
didn't
the
know
record.
they were putting in for mileage, yeah.
So evidently they weren't, it wasn't a disproportionate amount of mileage added to their totals, so.
Mhm.
So that tells you. Okay, all right.
All right, so we have a motion to not recommend made by Glenn and second by Ken. Any other discussion beyond that, or move the question? All in favor of the motion to not recommend. 3-2? All right, next. You're making some good progress. All right, field drainage is still open. We're waiting for a updated request. And then a key one here, on the bottom, I wanted it to go first, but it doesn't matter. We got to it. The permit software, Ryan McGonigal presented, was it last week?
What software?
Permit software, permitting software to do
For the building?
permits,
building
building
permit?
permits and things like that. And the amount he's requesting is $60,000, and I think there's a capital article in there that they would be able to save the $60,000 and use it for something else capital-wise if we gave them the ARPA money to do this. And this is a replacing the request to do, or updating the request to do accounting software, which I think we had all agreed was not a good idea to go down the road they're gonna go.
Yeah. And just looking at my notes here from last week, he said 60,000 was a high-end estimate, so it could be less than that. It also said that we'd be saving 10,000 per year. If I'm reading that correctly. And the operating cost is already built into the budget. In my opinion, I think this is kind of a no-brainer. They're saving money a year. Operating cost is already built into what we're paying already right now.
Sounds like you're making a motion.
I'm making a motion
There you go.
to recommend.
There you go.
I'll second that.
Comments, Nadia? Ken?
No, I think, I wasn't here last week if he talked about, but I think that he gave a good presentation, and it seemed to be in line the first time he was here.
All in favor?
I wasn't here, so I can't really.
All right.
I wasn't here either, but
Oh,
I'm
no,
going by
good.
the previous.
Yes, I know.
you know, so,
I mean, I made a pretty good argument.
yeah, pretty good. I vote for Dan's. Dan's permit.
All right. So that's all the ones we have. At this point in time. You get all this, Glenn? I don't know if I'm trying to write and think at the same time, and I don't do either one well. So the pavilion I had yes, 5-0. Mitchell Central upgrade, 5-0, yes. Renovate the courts open, LED lighting is still open. Church Street concession, yes. That was 5-0.
Yep.
School pickup truck, no, and that was 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
And permit software, yes, was 4-1.
So I have.
All right. Anyone have anything else we want to talk about?
He looks at you.
I look at you first.
I'm exhausted all my.
What do you got,
financial
Ken?
questions.
I know.
Up, left or right?
Fair enough.
Do we dare to make another meeting? 25th?
We have to
Do
get
you know
it
if they're
done, right?
available?
Oh, yeah, the last 2 weeks I was
Okay.
open for him.
while you're there, can you check for the next meeting? Whatever that next Tuesday is, if you get that before I do. May 2nd?
Yes.
So why don't we make the next 2 Tuesdays?
Okay.
All right, good. We'll entertain the a final motion of the evening.
Motion to adjourn?
Second. Okay. Turn. In. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Good job, everybody.